for everything we've done here. It's something that one should be happy about, to see that people are actually embracing this property idea, and that today we've had the maiden fiscal allocation exercise here at Billionaires Resorts by Cedarwood. Congratulations to you.
So this is your plots at 7.
Okay.
You can see this is the starting between. That's the second one, that's the third one, and that's the fourth one.
Making it 50 by 100.
Making it 50 by 100. And this is the road that is serving your plots.
Tell us, how was fiscal allocation exercise on the plots?
Yeah, it went well, and I must say that I'm really surprised getting this allocation, because I was thinking it might take up to 3 weeks, 1 month. But I'm surprised that barely 1 week, it's not even after 1 week he paid. He has already gotten his allocation today, and you know the joy of every client is to get physical allocation upon payment. That's what matters. So I'm so happy, and wherever he is now, he's also happy, because I will send the videos to him.
All right, so let's see you smile in celebration of that. Thank you. I like that you're happy. And at P1 Plus, we like to see all our clients happy. Now, Daniela is representing our client here for the fiscal allocation exercise. And the same thing applies to everyone who subscribes. Fiscal allocation here at Billionaires Resort by Cedarwood is done between 24 hours to 7 days max. So, Daniela, given that the fiscal allocation exercise has been done and you're happy about it, what can you say about all the processes that led to this fiscal allocation, from the inspection to the subscription, a service at the office and on site?
Okay, you know the main thing is inspection. First of all, the client saw the video, so most time before people even come for inspection, they already see the video. So once you see the video of this property, you come for inspection, and upon inspection, you're advised to fill the subscription form immediately, because the property is already on the verge of price increment. And once you are done with your payment, believe you me, you're getting your instant allocation.
So your client is here at 37 and 36.
Lagos, making home ownership a reality.
All right, a beautiful afternoon, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to another amazing moment on Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and this is the Real Estate in Nigeria program. A beautiful Wednesday, of course, and it has been raining. A rainy. It's a rainy day. It's a wet day, and this morning, luckily enough for me. I got to the office in the morning before the rain started, and some of my colleagues were blessed. The rain really, really blessed some of my colleagues. And, I went online, my goodness, saw quite a number of amazing videos, if I should put it that way. Saw quite a number of amazing videos of different locations flooded here in Lagos. And one very funny post I saw was the fact that someone said he lives in Surulere and some parts of Surulere are flooded. If Surulere can be this flooded, that means the island part of Lagos is will be wiped out of the map. I'm like, come on now, don't do that. What do you mean? But all good. It's all good. Lagos is a very unique environment. And that is what we should know, we should understand. And it gets more unique when it rains. It gets more unique when it rains, especially those, that find themselves in the Lekki axis and all that. But then, it's all good. We thank God for life. And I just hope that everyone out there under the rain, or probably the rain has flooded the environment, your homes and all that. My heart goes out to every one of you. I mean, today's traffic is going to be massive. Today, cost of transportation is going to be very, 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 very. I really, how it used to. As it be. How it's. How it used to be in Lagos when it rains. So today, just expect more traffic. Expect an increase in transportation and all that. So please, you people should leave Lagos alone. There are other states and other places that is also, flooded with water. You people should leave Lagos alone. Lagos is a very, very unique environment. Are you there? Okay. It's all good. All right. Welcome once again to Real Estate in Nigeria program. This program comes your way every Monday at 1 p.m. And for some funny reason, it started about 4 minutes past 1. Just some funny reasons I don't want to go into. Apologies for that. Okay. Before the show started, and by the way, please try to protect yourself this period. Okay. Try to protect yourself this period. Get insecticide spray. Get your umbrellas, your raincoat, your rain boots, your just protect yourself. There's definitely going to be an increase in mosquito bites. The cold weather. Some people will fall sick. Some people that belongs to a very unique blood group or genotype. So please just try and protect yourself this period of the rains. All right. So before the show started, I had already prepared what I was going to talk about. In fact, I already had in mind to bring a conversation on how to analyze and interpret real estate market data using logical reasoning. How to analyze and interpret real estate market data using logical reasoning. And just a few minutes, about 3 minutes or so before the show started, I came across a video and I thought it was that, oh yes, great, let's start with this. And then if we have time, we'll probably just have this, go into the topic I intend to talk about this afternoon on the Real Estate in Nigeria program. If not, we'll have it next week. All right. So this particular video I came across on YouTube, I thought it wise that, oh yes, this is actually something good that would be of benefit. So It's a lesson, a teaching, or an exposure for beginners, real estate beginners. Yes, that's the word I'm trying to get. Real estate beginners. So if you're out there, if you're out there and you want to go into the real estate, you are a beginner in the real estate industry, I think, this is the time that you must and should pay close attention. Let's quickly take this, let me use the word lecture. Let's quickly take this lecture and then we'll be right back.
Cedarwood here, and this is the first in a series of videos I'm going to be doing for real estate beginners, where I'll be reacting to videos by established real estate developers and then point out some lessons that you can learn to go on your own journey. So in this first video, we are going to be going over this interview between Confidence Achodo, one of the top realtors in Lagos, and Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, the developer of this estate. First of all, I'd like to say that this is a very magnificent project. It's second to none. It's amazing what they've been able to put together here. We currently have an estate we are trying to develop in Egbe, and I know how much it's costing us to do basic infrastructure, talk less of what they have going on here. I'll link the original video in the description below. So let's jump right into this.
I think one of the things with Macarius is the fact that it wasn't like something we get crashed into. First of all, the land in our hand is about 24 years.
This is the very first lesson. He has held this land for 24 years. And this is one mistake a lot of beginners make. They fail to realize the difference between various asset classes. Real estate is a secure asset, but for that security it provides you, it means that it has a long gestation period for you to really get the real value from it. But you see a lot of people come into real estate with the mindset of crypto, mindset of stocks. They want the security that real estate gives, but they want the volatility of crypto. You can't eat your cake and have it. Now, one of the strategies we employed from 2021 was to go into areas that we are soon to develop and then buy land and wait, right? So as at 2019, 2021, we used to play in Ikate, right? But from 2021, we now started to go towards Orchid, started to go towards Okota. Those places had not really opened up yet. Let me give you a practical example. So when we got into Ikota, we bought our plots for like 35 million naira, right? And in less than 2 years, those plots, Ikota started selling for a plot started going for like 75, 80 million naira. So we had already bought it at 35 and left it while we were still in Orchid Road. So by the time we now got to Ikota, the new developers were coming, buying the land at 80 million. Then to take you about 40, 50 million naira to build, you sell it at 120, you sell it at like 150. Do you understand? But we had already gotten that significant price advantage because we bought it at 35 million and then we still sold it at what the market was selling it. So this is for the developer side. But as a regular real estate investor, I see so many people they want to buy land today, 6 months time they want to sell it. Real estate doesn't work like that, especially in the less developed areas. Now in Ikoyi, in Lekki, in the very prime areas, that happens. I know somebody that bought land for 1.2 million naira per square meter in Banana Island, and in like 6 weeks he flipped it for like 1.8 million naira per square meter. He made a killing. So that is possible in developed areas, but when you're going to developing areas, your strategy has to change to more of long term. Now, he said he bought this land 24 years ago. Now, 24 years ago, how much did he buy this? Maybe 300k, 500k is what he bought this land. Today, unregistered land in this part of Ekpe, in this area where it is about 15 million, 20 million naira, right? Now, imagine as a developer, you're now buying that land at this price. You're trying to deliver what Macarius is doing. You see, you're already at the very high disadvantage. You cannot deliver it.
Our MEP people, mechanical, electrical, plumbing people, had to go to Turkey to bring in the powered cables that will take power to every plot and every house. As I'm talking to you, it's in our warehouse. We have a warehouse which is part of another thing I do.
Now, this warehouse is a very, very important point, especially for a country like Nigeria with our galloping inflation and unstable exchange rate. Let me give you a practical example of one of the things we did in our Lekki Scheme 2 project. That project was supposed to start in October, but our approvals didn't come out, so we had to start in January 2024. So when the president removed the fuel subsidy, floated the naira, and made all those policy changes, we knew that the economy was going to change, the price of things were going to increase, and whatnot. So what did we do? We started to buy things ahead of time, right? Most especially cement. We bought about 2,100 bags of cement at 4,500 naira sometime in August. Now, you cannot possibly store 2,100 bags of cement, for a long time, right? So what did we do? We now converted them to blocks. At the peak, we had about 70,000 blocks at the peak. So we converted it and stored it while waiting for our approval to come out, and then project started in January. So by November, December, when things became very bad and everybody was complaining that cement was like 10,000, it even got to as high as 13,000, we didn't have an issue because we had already taken our position. Now, if you had a warehouse, that is another way you can, guide yourself against such currency fluctuations. You buy your materials ahead of time when the prices have stabilized or when they've come down. Then you store it, especially if you have like a long-term project, 12 months, 18 months. You buy your materials in bulk, buy them down, keep them in the warehouse, and then as time goes by, you carry out your project.
Okay, so for clients, people say it's expensive. We've tried to communicate the value.
Okay.
People just look at the exterior and say, it's not just land. Basically, because we have a lot of lands being sold along the same corridor.
Yes.
Not at this price.
Yes.
So I think it's also imperative that they are hearing from the visionaire.
Yes.
Why it is that price.
Okay.
The value they are getting.
Now, this was another question I've gotten from a lot of people asking me if Macarius is worth the price. And personally, I don't talk about price. I say price is what the buyer is willing to pay for it, right? If he sets his price, because I think it's currently selling for like 150 million. Now, if he set the price at 150 million and nobody buys it, nobody will tell him to reduce the price, right? But I'm sure he's seen patronage. That's why he's putting it at 150. And if at any point you see that sales slows down, that's when you start hearing about discounts, right? So the price of a commodity is as good as what anybody is willing to pay for it. So if you feel it's overpriced, then don't buy it. Then if you don't buy it, then the price will come down. Oh, and if you're enjoying this reaction video, please signify by liking it and then dropping a comment for me so that I do more. Because if I don't get a good reaction from this, I won't do this again. But I intend this to be a series. And the only way you can show me that you enjoyed this is by hitting the like button, sharing it, and then dropping your comment.
Let me just break it down this way. Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing of Macarius is costing us 9 billion.
Now, I made a video about 5-6 months ago where I talked about why real estate in Nigeria is overpriced. And one of the things I talked about was cost of construction. And you can hear it here, infrastructure. That is also under construction. It is very expensive. Like I said, because of our galloping inflation and ridiculous exchange rates.
Deep sea port used to belong to me. 20 acres. I bought it cheaply, no papers. And the person told me I have integrity. The governor is my son. I will get the paper. Today, I didn't get any papers.
Now, this is a very, very important point, especially for these new developing areas, Ibejuleki and Ekpe. Please, everybody, go and get your title documents for your land. It is very, very important. The estate you are selling doesn't have a title, but everybody that buys into that estate will make it a point of duty to advise them to go for their title documentation, and will make it easier for them. Now, you might ask, why don't we just do it as an estate? The problem is that if you go as an estate, it's usually more expensive, right? Lagos State government will charge you more. But if you go as individuals for your own title documentation, it's cheaper. And then we are thinking, if we do it ourselves, it's going to each plot is going to cost you about 25 million naira. But if you buy the plot from us for 6 million, it's going to cost you between 3 to 5 million naira to get your C of O for that land, which is about 10 million naira more or less, right? So rather than we do it and then it's costing this much, we say, okay, let us secure the land for these people and then walk them through the process of getting their title documentation. Everybody that buys into Imperial Estate, we always tell them, please make it a point of duty to get your title, because Lagos State government is coming really hard for properties within these locations, Ibejuleki and Ekpe. And if you're listening to this video and you don't have your title documents for these locations, please go and do it.
For example, in this corridor, I know places where there were 100 houses. So now somebody say, oh, they are demolition. See, we're also not fair. We're not fair on the government. We don't tell all the story. In the places where there's demolition, there is law and order. Take the government to court if you are sure that you have papers.
Now, this is one area that I have issues with a lot of people on my Instagram page when I make these videos. I tell them that, see, listen, there's nobody's property that has been demolished, that there wasn't a valid reason for that demolition. And if for whatever reason you feel that your property was wrongly demolished, you can take the Lagos State government to court and you will win. Our justice system works. Don't believe the lies that it doesn't work. They actually work. If you go to my Instagram page, I've told about some stories of people who fought the government and won. One of them is, the Magodo residents of Magodo. So if you follow the rules and regulations of Lagos State, nobody's demolishing your house, right? Lagos State is one of the states with the most sophisticated land systems. I can tell you that 100%.
You also, for the people who are watching, real estate in Nigeria is dependent on where you buy the land and the quality of documentation. Mm-hmm. If you buy Ikoyi, your return on your money is 2 years. If you buy VI Lekki Phase 1, your return is 4 years. If you buy from Lekki Phase 1 into the rest up to Ibeju, your return is probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years. Macarius returned in 1 year.
True.
Those who bought our 300 square meters, 6 months later, their land was double.
Now, I disagree with him here, right? You people need to realize that every real estate or every investment for that matter has a ceiling, right? And the closer you are to that ceiling, the lower the returns you should be expecting. Now, let me give you this simple analogy. You have 1 billion naira, right? You use it to buy one property in Ikoyi. Or you have that 1 billion naira and then you split it to 10 properties, each for 100 million naira in Aja. Which one do you think has a higher chance of giving you 50% in 1 year? Most likely the one in Aja. It's easier for a property that I bought for 100 million naira to become 150 million naira each next year, combined 1.5 billion, than for that property that I bought in Ikoyi to go to 1.5 billion naira in 1 year. Why? Because the properties in those prime locations are, already close to their peak, so their rate of growth is slow. Now, for Macarius is currently selling for 150 million naira. How far do you think that thing can go in the shortest possible time? I believe that most people are already buying it at the peak. I'm not saying to not get higher. At the time, with the rate at which Lagos is developing, it's going to, it can get up to 200, 300 million naira. Who knows, right? But for now, I think that people should all be aware that they're already buying close to the peak. And then don't be deceived by what real estate companies tell you that, okay, buy this thing at this price, in 2 months' time, the price is going to increase. That is a pseudo increase, right? Because the increase is only valid when somebody else is willing to pay for it. And you see situation where people buy into an estate, falling for this increased thing, and then they realize they cannot sell it, or they will end up selling it at a very significant loss.
But you see, people also are emotional buyers. I know people abroad, because they grew in Ibadan, you can't sell Lagos to them. Sure. Because those who grew in Akure, but they don't realize it will not return the value of what you bought.
And this is another thing I tell people, because now land in Lagos is becoming scarce. A lot of developers now moving to Ogun State, moving to Badon, and they're not trying to, I would say, deceive people into buying these places. Yes, if you don't have the budget, because these lands are cheap, 1 million, 2 million naira, you can buy them, but do not buy them with the hope that they are going to significantly increase in due time. No, you would have fallen for a scam if that was the reason you bought it. But if you genuinely do not have the budget for Lagos, because I tell anybody that likes to listen, if you want to buy anywhere in Lagos Island, make sure you have at least 10 million naira. 10 million naira is going to cover for the cost of the land and then the cost of the documentation for that land. The documentation is very important. So have 10 million. So if you don't have 10 million naira, then you can go to Ibadan, you can go to Ogun State. Or if you're from this state, then fine, you can buy it, right? If you're from Imo State, if you're from Enugu State, you can buy it in your state. But just have it in mind that you're buying it for sentimental reasons. But if actually for investment, for now, Lagos State and Abuja is where it is. I'll give you this example with my parents, right? So my parents bought a couple of properties in Ikorodu and Imowe. In as much as the prices have increased, like the one my parents bought in Ikorodu, they bought it for like 200k. Now the value is about 10 million, 15 million, thereabouts. It's significant. But the time when my parents bought that land, if they had bought that same land in like Aja, Songotedo many years ago, I'm sure that would have been worth more, 3x what they bought it, right? So it's not like they didn't buy well, but like I was telling my father, I said, I should be the one now buying the Ikorodu and Mowe, not you. You should have been buying Aja, Songotedo back then, but it doesn't matter. So it's the same thing, but if your budget doesn't permit you, then you can go as far as possible.
Please, I wanted to reiterate that when people buy properties in here and buy lands and build or buy the houses, it will not be demolished. And why?
Number one, why would there be a demolition when you actually went through the due process?
Yeah, so I've already made this point earlier, right? There's a due process for things. So government doesn't just randomly demolish houses. However, there are situations where your property might be needed for public use. In the case of Landmark, if you can watch the video if you haven't watched it, I made a video on that incident. So in that case, if you have your valid documents, you'll be properly compensated.
I, Matthew Ashimolowo, I've been the greatest victim of that. It was the land where my church was that was taken for Olympic Stadium 2012. Couldn't override the government of the United Kingdom. They said...
Oh, so not just in Nigeria?
No, I'm talking United Kingdom. Olympic Stadium 2012. The Olympics 2012 was in England. It was KRCC land. That's where the main bowl sits. Where my platform, where my preaching ground stands. Is where it was taken. And they paid us for our land.
So you can see it's not just peculiar to Nigeria. And one thing that has been surprising me is that most of these sentimental opinions I see are from people that are well traveled. If it was Nigerians that make some statements that they make, I'll say, okay, maybe this person is not exposed. But you see, Nigerians in diaspora, they make some comments, and I'm like, do you even? I mean, you're abroad. Don't you see how these things function where you are? It amazes me sometimes. It amazes me sometimes. So it's not just peculiar to Nigeria. All over the world, when there is a requirement for public interest, the government has the right to take it from you.
To go through those processes, the villas, those 14 villas, I think what we are paying is something like 30 million naira for approval. And then they come every time you are pouring concrete or any place that will carry weight to approve. They approve foundation. Also because on one hand there's government demolition, on another hand there's houses collapsing.
All right, so in this case, it's talking about stage certification, right? Now, there are 6 agencies you need to involve anytime you're building a property in Nigeria. I'm going to make another video separately on that. And each of them have various roles to play to make sure that, the building is well built and you don't have issues of collapse, because a lot of people feel that there are no regulations. There are regulations, just that people circumvent this regulation. But if you follow the due process, your properties won't be demolished and your houses won't collapse.
Holding on the Imperial Towers was a sudden tumbling of the Nigerian currency. Can you believe that these 10-floor buildings, for us to build it to satisfy Lagos State statutory requirements, and for us to build something that is truly legacy, that will be beauty, foundation is 3 billion.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Some people that are not in this business, they will just come out and make statements ignorantly. Some months ago, I made a video on my Instagram talking about how much the foundation of our Lekki Scheme 2 project was costing us. And some clowns came and said I was lying. I said each pile, because we are building apartments and we have to pile. We are going 6 meters into the ground. And each pile was going to cost us $250,000. 250,000 naira, sorry. Some people said I was lying, that it was cheaper than that. You people don't realize how expensive it is to build. I have like 2-3 people who came in thinking they understood it and then got stuck, but every day they are not allowing me rest. Bond, please help us with your suppliers. Bond, please, how do I solve this problem? It is really expensive. All right, so that is the end of the video. I hope you found value in this. For those who don't know me, my name is Duru Bond. I run a company called Homelantic. We are a real estate development company here in Lagos, Nigeria. We build properties across various locations. Lekki Scheme 2 currently. We have Lekki Scheme 2 and we have in
All right, yeah, quite an informative and quite an informative lecture there, quite educative. You may not agree with some of the things that was said, but to a large extent, they were very key notes, very key notes that was stated, very important things, that was said in that particular video, and I hope someone out there has actually learned something from that very video. All right, now I'm just even realizing that Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo happens to be a real estate developer. My goodness. And one striking thing that was said is concerning the demolition of a thing, was the fact that it's not only it doesn't happen here. It's not only it's not exclusive to Lagos or in Nigeria alone. It also happens in the abroad. And I'm like, oh, so it's real. So this demolition of a thing. So this demolition of a thing is really not just here. It all boils down to the fact that we need to do things the right way. All right, do it the right way. At the end of the day, you end up not biting your fingers or burning your fingers. All right. Quickly, I want to use this opportunity to send a birthday shout out to a VVIP, if I should put it that way, in the person of Dr. Vera Oberabo. Today happens to be your birthday. Happy super birthday, many more years to come in good health and plenty of money. On Friday, we'll have a proper celebration for that very, very day. I mean, we'll have a proper celebration for your birthday on Friday right here on Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. She's been here once, and yes, I look forward to having her again on Cedarwood Luxury Radio program. All right, so but then Dr. Vera Berabo, happy super birthday. And also quickly, I want to send a better shout out to Lima Usma. Happy super birthday to you, Lima Usma. Many more years to come in good health and plenty of money. I celebrate you powerfully. Yes. Happy super birthday to you, Alima. Well, because of my time, I think I'm going to extend what's that word they use in meetings now? Adjourn. I'm going to adjourn the topic I intend to speak on this afternoon, which is how you can analyze and interpret real estate market data using logical reasoning. I'll adjourn that conversation to next week, Wednesday. Hopefully, if we have a guest, if we do not, we're going to have that very conversation next week. And I hope I've been able to lecture. I hope this session this afternoon I've been able to inform you and you've been able to learn something. So do want to join us again, yes, at 4 p.m. Do want to join us again at 4 p.m. for the Voice of Program. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you all and see you again at 4 p.m.
For everything we've done here, it's something that one should be happy about, to see that people are actually embracing this property idea, and that today we've had the maiden fiscal allocation exercise here at Billionaires Resorts by Cedarwood. Congratulations to you.
So these are your plots at 7. You can see this is the starting between. That's the second one, that's the third one, and that's the fourth one.
Making it 50 by 100.
Making it 50 by 100. And this is the road that is serving your plots.
Tell us, how was fiscal allocation exercise on the plots?
Yeah, it went well, and I must say that I'm really surprised getting this allocation, because I was thinking it might take up to 3 weeks, 1 month. But I'm surprised that barely 1 week, it's not even up to 1 week he paid. He has already gotten his allocation today, and the joy of every client is to get physical allocation upon payment. That's what matters. So I'm so happy, and wherever he is now, he's also happy because I will send the videos to him.
All right, so let's see you smile in celebration of that. Thank you. I like that you're happy. And at P1 Plus, we like to see all our clients happy. Now, Daniela is representing our client here for the fiscal allocation exercise. And the same thing applies to everyone who subscribes. Fiscal allocation here at Billionaires Resort by Cedarwood is done between 24 hours to 7 days max. So Daniela, given that the fiscal allocation exercise has been done and you're happy about it, what can you say about all the processes that led to this fiscal allocation, from the inspection to the subscription, a service at the office and on site?
Okay, the main thing is inspection. First of all, the client saw the video. So most time, before people even come for inspection, they already see the video. So once you see the video of this property, you come for inspection. And upon inspection, you're advised to fill the subscription form immediately, because the property is already on the verge of price increment. Yeah. And once you are done with your payment, believe you me, you're getting your instant allocation.
So your client is there, and 37 and 36.